Welcome, Republican incumbent Senator Mike DeWine, Democratic challenger Sherrod Brown. Welcome both.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Let me tell you what I believe and what I feel in my heart and what I think the evidence clearly shows. We cannot leave Iraq with the job undone. And we cannot set an artificial timetable.
We instruct the military that we want to exit Iraq within a year and a half to 2 years, and we tell we order the military, we instruct the military to come up with the plan within that year and a half to 2 years, specifically at what speed, and that the troops exit Iraq in the most orderly and safe way. No, I would not vote against the troops in the field.
Why did you do that?
I voted against the $87 billion because there was a better way to do it. Much of that $87 billion went to Halliburton in the Intelligence Committee. If he had asked those same questions, we would have a safer America today.
A chance to respond.
You are absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe you.
This is the same guy that ran.
Can I finish? Okay. Now, can I finish? You had your turn. Okay, you're absolutely unbelievable. How can you say this when you, Sherrod, voted 5 different times against funding for body armor?
Saddam Hussein does not have weapons of mass destruction. Would you have still voted to go into Iraq?
No. I think...
So you regret your vote?
No. I think that, Tim, that the evidence, I've said this many times, the evidence would be that we never would have even had a vote to do it.
So you stand by your vote?
On what we knew at the time.
I voted against the war because the president hadn't.
But you did believe Saddam had weapons of mass destruction.
I wasn't sure.
You know better than that, Mike. You've been in the Senate for 12 years. You've been Ohio Senior Senator. You know better than making charges
Tim,
like that that are just unsubstantiated.
You're unbelievable again. 10 different times the roll call was there.
I joined Porter
Tim,
Goss
let me ask him a question.
And Jim Sensenbrenner, the author of the Patriot Act, because we knew that the intelligence operations in our government...
But you voted against the Patriot Act.
I did vote against the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act had a lot of good things in it, but it went too far. And it's not, the Patriot Act is law now, but we've not done what we should do in Afghanistan. We've not done what we should do to protect the United States of America.
Should President Bush have replaced the Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld?
I've already said, Tim, that I don't have confidence in Rumsfeld. He's made major mistakes in this war. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The decision to put Rumsfeld in was made by the president, and that's his decision to keep.
He approved an ad that showed, that doctored the picture of the World Trade Center. He also called 15 years ago, he said John Glenn was soft and communism. This is how he runs ads.
They aren't made in the picture, but there was no mistake in the fact. You're still not denying the fact.
But no,
the fact's incorrect.
Just like Mike DeWine doesn't hold the drug companies accountable, doesn't hold the Defense Department accountable. He didn't even fire the... He didn't fire...
Could you explain to us in the audience your relationship with Jack Abramoff and his staff, your staff's relationship with them, why you accepted campaign donations from them, and whether the Abramoff money influenced your votes on the Saginaw Chippewa School in Michigan and the labor vote on the Mariana Islands?
There we go again. Baseless allegations drummed up in a negative campaign that started almost a year and a half ago. But what does that do for jobs in Butte, Montana? What does it do for jobs in any part of the state of Montana?
Senator Burns collected more money from Jack Abramoff than anyone else in Congress. And what he didn't tell you was he did change a vote on the Marianas Island on slave labor. And he gave Jack Abramoff everything he wanted from his committee as chairman of the committee. You've costed Montana a lot. The truth is people in Montana expect integrity and honesty. Handshake in this state means something.
All baseless allegations. Make it very clear, all baseless, untruths. But he wants to weaken the Patriot Act. He wants to take the tools away from the people that work for us.
Let me be clear. I don't want to weaken the Patriot Act. I want to repeal it. It's that thick. No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
And why you eliminated the taxes on 13,000 businesses and would still raise taxes on 16,000. I'd like to hear your reasoning for that.
But the truth is, Senator Burns, if you want to talk about taxes, let's talk about taxes. You're putting the most gross tax on any person there is by the birth tax. You have voted to take away the tax from the Superfund polluters and put it on the people in this audience right here. And it shows the fact that Senator Burns has lost touch with Montana. He would not have done that in 1988. There is no doubt in my mind. But Washington has changed him. It will not change me.
Guess what he was doing? Having a fundraiser with those lobbyists. Isn't that odd? Don't you find that odd? A little bit hypocritical? A little bit dishonest?
Well, welcome to the Missouri Press Association Candidates Forum. Libertarian Party candidate Frank Gilmore, Democratic candidate State Auditor Claire McCaskill, Republican candidate Senator Jim Talent, and Progressive Party candidate Lydia Lewis.
Senator Talent has been in Washington for 14 years as a congressman, as a lobbyist, and as a senator. During that period of time, we have not fixed Social Security. We have not balanced the budget. We have record high deficits.
I have been in public life a few years, and the thrill is gone in the sense that I don't care what door my name is on, except insofar as it enables me to make a difference for the people of Missouri. I think I've done that, and done it on a bipartisan basis.
And it's very important that we change course, that we begin redeployment, and stabilize the entire region.
We need to secure the border. That begins with fencing. That's not all we need to do. We also need more agents and detention facilities. It's a national security issue, by the way, as well as an immigration issue. We need strong employer sanctions backed up by good technology so we know who's in the country lawfully and who isn't. We do not need an amnesty. Congress did that 20 years ago. The problem is 6 times as bad now as it was then. She's opposed to a fence at the border and has made statements in support of an amnesty.
It's like fingernails on a blackboard to have to sit and listen to your positions misrepresented. And it's frankly not the way we campaign in Missouri. I have never said I was for amnesty, ever. I'm a prosecutor. I believe in enforcing the law. I do not believe amnesty is the right way to go on immigration. Sometimes the best idea is stopping a bad idea. Privatizing Social Security is a bad idea. Senator Talent co-sponsored legislation to privatize Social Security. $1 trillion to Wall Street is not the way we should fix the security of millions of Americans as they reach retirement.
I'm strongly opposed to privatization. The people who are for privatization are the people who are for doing nothing. Because if we don't do anything, the funds are going to run out. And then what are people going to be left with? Their private savings. That's privatization. What we have to do is use the money paid into Social Security for Social Security. First to pay the current retirees, and then to save in some form.
Washington, D.C., that place I call 17 square miles of logic-free environment.